We're live.
Hello, roller derby fans. How are you? Wow, a couple of big games already so far. I'm Gretchen. I'm here with Dork Mistress. We're going to bring you Lomme roller derby from Lille, France versus Dock City Rollers from Gothenburg, Sweden. It's the 11 and the 12 seed, but there's a lot more to it than that. Dork
Absolutely.
Mistress.
So yesterday both teams played. Doc had an amazing game, really pushing Paris to the last jam before Paris actually finally took the win.
Paris 126, Doc 120. How about that?
Again,
Yeah.
unexpected. Lomme had a game against Nantes, who they'd beat just 2 months before, but very, very different scoreline. Nantes absolutely taking the win.
And
so there's a lot of pride.
There's pride on the
pride.
line right now, and sometimes that makes for the most entertaining games. Right now, we'd like to tell you who's skating for Lomme. How about it, Dork Mistress?
Thank you. Lomme are playing in the white, and we have 10 Boudou, 16 Brutus, 2 Honey Boo Boo, 220 Gas Attack, 221 Larage, 23 Sniffy, 25 Marshmallow, 3 Belzep, 302 Tack, 32 Trauma Crime Rian, 380 Pinky Bruiser, 5446 Moete, 7 Killer Sushi, 709 Flicker Tomba Toil.
Okay, and for Dock City in the navy blue, number 11 is Fraulein F. Reckless. Number 12 is Pelvis Wesley. Number 18 is Bowden. Number 2, Sugar High. Number 20 is Beelan. Number 27 is Kafka. Number 247 is Baleen. Number 3 is Prince Sophia. Number 31, Malice Babs. Number 41, Stopless. Number 414, Ertan. Number 421, Patty from the Block. Number 48, Moran. Number 5, High Five. And number 56, the captain of the Anchors, Snagga.
So 2 great teams, 2 great games we've already seen. Gretchen, do you want to
Absolutely.
talk through what the predictor's saying?
Well, for this one, the predictor, I don't. Might as well just say flip a coin. I believe it was Lomme 150 and Dock City 149. I've never seen the WFTDA rankings predictor actually predict a 1-point result. So I don't know that there's an enormous amount of confidence in that conclusion.
Well, we're about to see. They're lining up for the first jam.
Looks like Fraulein F. Reckless on the start line for Dock City, and it's going to be Killer Sushi for Lomme.
Killer Sushi had a great game against Nantes yesterday. One of the star jammers.
Solid defense from Sniffy, and that rolls back. Fraulein F. Reckless springs Killer Sushi. Dock City losing their pivot to that 888 penalty box. Dock City might still be exhausted from almost taking Paris out yesterday, but I'm sure they're excited. Fraulein F. Reckless does get released from the pack. That'll prompt a call-off. And 4-0 after our first jam.
Important for Lomme to put the first points on the board. There's always that mental advantage you've got. But not a lot that we can say from just one jam.
Not exactly. No, there's going to be a 4-3 pack advantage in Lomme's favor as Baleen is in the 888 penalty box for Dock City. Dock City sending Prince Sophia now versus Brutus for Lomme. Brutus with a lot of energy. Ooh, the outside almost opened up. Brutus had to recover. Prince Sophia, lead jammer, Dock City.
And that Brutus not able to make the most of having that pack advantage, being really held back until now, just completing their initial.
And again, if the predictor is any indication, we're going to see the back and forth all day long, and I'm here for it, listeners. I'm loving this team. I loved the spirit that I saw from Dock City yesterday, and Lomme, you've got to figure wants a little revenge because they beat Nantes earlier this year.
Yeah.
And we all saw earlier today Nantes shocking Rainy City.
I know. I think the roller derby world's still reeling from that result.
I think maybe so. The parity is on display here this weekend. This is Mordan taking the front position, jamming for Dock City, and it's Tack with the star working hard for Lomme, but Mordan, lead jammer, Dock City, 2 in a row.
That Dock City defense knew exactly where 20 feet was. Great bridging, but incredible dynamic defense. Really making Tack grind for that to complete their initial.
Yeah, still not out. I think everybody's been passed a few times, but now finally out. That's the initial trip. I tell you, Moran's now getting bumped to the infield. That'll force the call off. 3, I believe. Yes.
So 3 points for Dock, taking them into the lead with 7 points. I think we'll be seeing lots of lead changes.
I would predict that. We've got Baudou now for Lomme. And this is going to be Bowden jamming for Dock City.
On that sucker punch jam line.
You bet. And speaking of sponsored entities, the 888 penalty box has one Lomme skater in it right now. That's Belzap. Oh, and a jammer penalty going on Bowden.
That was Larage from Lomme, who we saw yesterday, incredibly fast back to cause those cut track penalties.
Yeah, pulling. That's one of the most. I love seeing the awareness, but also you got to be fast acting in order to make it happen.
Larage was a standout player yesterday. Pivot, jammer, blocker, did it all exceptionally well.
Well, Dock City trying to kill this penalty right now, and so far doing a fairly good job of it. The Dock City jammer standing and now released from the penalty box. Lomme will take the lead, at least momentarily. Baudou choosing to try for another scoring trip right now. Meanwhile, Bowden is out. That's just an initial trip, though, Dork Mistress.
I think we might see the call off. I'm looking at the bench. Yep, and the bench is asking for the call.
Very well played by Lomme.
So it is 7 points for Lomme in that jam, taking them to 11 into the lead. Dock still on 7. We're 5 minutes in and we haven't even scored 20 points.
No, and we've had a lead change in almost every jam.
You know when you go, oh, this is going to be good.
Well, we're playing for pride, and sometimes that's really all there is to play for. And rankings, exactly.
And rankings.
Fraulein Reckless with the star for Dock City. It's going to be Killer Sushi at the rear of the pack, working against that Dock defense.
And that Dock defense at the rear has been devastating for the Lomme jammers so far. But Lomme up front, pushing right out is Fraulein F. Reckless. He gets lead.
Yeah, Fraulein F. Reckless had lead established a couple of seconds before. Lomme losing 2 blockers, 3 blockers now, and a pivot.
Jammer. It's the jammer.
Oh, it is. It's Killer Sushi.
Went for a high block.
Thank you, Dork Mistress. So this is a let-it-roll situation for Fraulein F. Reckless.
And this is a huge opportunity for Dock to really establish a bit of a lead.
Yep. They're already pressing that advantage. They've got 8 on the jam. Fraulein F. Reckless looking to make it 12, and does. Oh, and now Lomme losing their pivot. 888 penalty box, a busy place over on the left-hand side right now.
But Killer Sushi now released back on track. And we've got 40 seconds for Lomme to try and get that point differential down on this jam.
It's extremely important for Killer Sushi now to at least complete that initial trip. Meanwhile, Fraulein F. Reckless is on a 16-point jam. There goes Killer Sushi. Still actually has time to potentially score.
Nope.
Nope. That's going to prompt the call off.
So that was 16-point jam, which was 20. So that
20?
was more points in that jam than the entire game to that point. So huge jam psychologically for Doc. And, Lomme have got to regroup after that and come back.
Do. That could be quite a knockout punch in the early going, but yeah, we've got to strike back right away. It's going to...
And they do.
How about Brutus? Brutus answers the call, and Prince Sophia goes to the 888 penalty box. So Power Jam Lomme, just when you thought Doc might be asserting a little bit of dominance, oh no, Dork Mistress.
And also, we've got 2 Doc blockers in the 888 penalty box, so there is a distinct Lomme pack advantage, which they are using incredibly well with positional blocking.
Exactly, and now Prince Sophia is standing right now in the penalty box, but that's still a green light situation for Brutus. Brutus puts up 12, can tie the game on this next trip through the pack. Prince Sophia still has not completed the initial.
I've just been enjoying watching Brutus's outside line work, the footwork that they've been demonstrating. Right from the first pass to get lead has just been phenomenal.
Well, Prince Sophia now finally does complete that initial trip. Brutus is going to have to be careful. Does call, makes the right decision at the right time. There should be 2 more points added, so we've got a tie game, I believe. No, it's a 2-point game. Pardon me.
Lomme on 25, Doc on 27.
The scoreboard operator was very quick on the trigger there. Good for them.
But we said Lomme needed to come out and respond, and they absolutely did.
They certainly did. Well, we've got an oddity right now, an empty 888 penalty box, Dork Mistress.
I mean, they've been fairly split, so there's 4 penalties for Lomme and 5 for Doc, so they've both been naughty.
Moran now pushing the front, but Tack has got a head of steam. Tack from the back, lead Jam Lomme.
I was surprised Doc didn't chase after Tack. I thought that they had the time to reabsorb, but that seemed to have just got past Tack's speed, just flummoxed them.
Well, and all of this in these tight packs, that quick burst can make all of the difference. But Doc doing a very good job tying up Tack at the back. However, Moran's not finding the going any too easy up front. Patty from the block is just raining havoc. Oh, it's a cut track on Tack. So it's a power jam for Moran, but Moran's not out of the initial trip yet. We're got 58 seconds to go in the jam. Can you imagine if it were a 58-minute jam, Dork Mistress?
But there's a hit out right at the last second. That was perfection from Belzep.
Certainly was. Finally, that took almost 1.5 minutes for Moran to get out.
And Tack is standing and now released. So not quite a penalty kill, but close.
Punky Bruiser is down and the jam is called. We certainly hope that Punky is all right.
I think the medics are just coming to check that Punky is fine. So it's a chance for us to talk through our wonderful officials who are...
Catch our breath, too.
Holy
moly.
So our non-skating officials are Lamesh Sese, Karavi, Bernard, Elbones, Weirdo, Holy Sheet, Goosebumps, Pretty Miffed, Dropkick Bruise, Slutty Hearse, and Pussy Panzerfaust, who are doing an amazing job this weekend. It's been such high-level derby. Trying to keep track of everything, I do not envy them.
Staying on top of all the action, also our skating officials for this game, Victoria Velociraptor, Captain Robvius, Junus, Major Buzzkill, Katsusoze, Rollin' Rat, and Tara O.
Everyone was very excited for the next jam to start. That was the rolling whistle to kick off the time, but they thought it was the jam.
Dock City holding on to a tenuous 3-point lead right now, but Lomme punching back. we're going to see Bowden on the jam line for Dock City, taking on Bowdu for Lomme. Oh, and Bowden hits fast. Quick star pass. That's going to L'Orage.
The speed with which that dock wall reformed in front of L'Orage was impressive.
Very much so. They had that star pass sniffed out. This is a first scoring trip for Bowden. That's going to be all four for the Dock City Jammer. We've got stopless for Dock City in the 888 penalty box.
Along with Flicker Tomba Toil, so it's one blocker each.
Boy, that star pass to L'Orage turned out to be just past the misery. Bowden with another 4 points. L'Orage now makes it out.
And Bowden looking for guidance from the bench. They've decided to go for a scoring pass because they got at least 1 point. Very smart tactics from Doc to get we used to call it a goat. I don't know if that's still the term.
Yeah.
Get that 1 point, call the jam. Because in this game, every single point is going to matter.
It certainly will. And Lomme, to that note, Dork Mistress, did get 1 point at the end of that jam. So you really have to give a lot of credit to L'Orage for sticking with it. Sometimes I would imagine, never having played, but having watched so much high-level and other-level roller derby, to be honest, that there are probably times as a pivot when you want to receive the star pass. There's probably other times as a pivot where if it were up to you, you'd rather not.
And that's when you skate away from the jammer so that you can't have the star pass. We've seen that.
Sure, but L'Orage not willing to do that because L'Orage wants to help the team and did put up a point for Lomme.
L'Orage did an amazing job yesterday, so clearly a central part of the team. While we're in this timeout, quick chance to talk about 187 killer pads, elevating excellence through continuous innovation, the pinnacle of design and tech. 187 killer pads, and you can check them out online. Just Google 187 killer pads.
There you go. Speaking of our wonderful sponsors, our Sucker Punch Skate Shop start line is populated by none other than Fraulein F. Reckless for Dock City versus Killer Sushi for Lomme.
I do love the name Killer Sushi.
It always has that air of mystery. What's that? The blowfish, I believe. That's the potentially lethal delicacy. Well, no quick advantage. Killer Sushi, though, does establish lead.
But again, you see the speed of the dock blockers.
Yeah, Killer Sushi looks to the bench.
So the pack is speeding up because this jammer, is in the lead.
Correct.
Lomme have gone to the front, but I think Doc got a point.
We'll wait and see.
I think they sneaked one.
Yes,
they
you
did.
are correct, Dork Mistress. So 1 point. Killer Sushi relying on the bench for the call-off.
Oh, 2
We're actually
points.
seeing 2 go up right now, so well, you got to give credit to Fraulein F. Reckless there, really hustling.
This is also something we saw a little bit yesterday in the game against Nantes. Not all of the Lomme blockers are in the right place sometimes, and I think that's what happened there.
We've got Brutus now jamming for Lomme, taking on Prince Sophia, who is rolled pretty far back, a forearm going against Honey Boo Boo right now. And up at the front, we have a lead jammer, Brutus, really doing some heavy lifting for Lomme in the early going. Lomme defense holding up. Oh, Brutus almost had that inside line. Out of an abundance of caution, recycles, and it was a good idea. Certainly don't need to go to the box.
No, and it's all about energy conservation. These teams had 2 big games, big game yesterday. Even though they've rested and recovered, that's still in their legs.
That's
and
right.
And this is going to go right down to the wire. You want to still be fresh after 55 minutes, or as fresh as you can be.
That's the size of it. It's Moran now at that Sucker Punch start line for Dock City. Tack for Lomme. Tack, the author of a pretty serious jam the time before, but it's a forearm penalty. And a power jam Dock. Resting in the hands of Moran with a 4-3 pack advantage as well.
Oh, and that was, Lomme were not ready for Moran to come round at that point. And Dock are doing a great job of distracting and getting one of the Lomme blockers or two blockers out. They're splitting that wall up.
Yeah, Muete released from the penalty box, and that'll help throttle Moran a little bit.
And is.
Yeah. Tech has been released, and well, if it had, what a shot, but that is a out of play block going against Balin, I believe.
Sometimes that's worth it. That, unfortunately, right at the end of the jam.
At the end of the jam. May not be the time.
May not be the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So 8 points for Dock City, taking them to 49. Lomme now on 29. So I think the last few jams, that psychological, and I think that power jam really cementing Dock in the lead now.
I believe you're right. Yes, Garza Tack, a new jammer for Lomme and finding immediate success in the 4 lane. Bowden is still being throttled in the back of the pack. Rolled back by Marshmallow, I believe.
But looking at the agility of Gar's attack, the ability to change direction.
Yeah. Oh, and finally out now is Bowden, but Gar's attack will take the 4 points and call the jam. Smart play. Plenty of time to get the hit and quick game going for Lomme. They don't need to score, 16 points all at once.
No.
Got to remember that.
13 and a half minutes left in this first half. Lomme now on 33, Dock City on 49, and we have an empty 888 penalty box.
We certainly do. Yeah, all in all, I think the penalties have been evenly distributed.
Yeah.
We'll wait for a more official readout on that. Ooh, Killer Sushi, very close to the threshold of a...
Great track awareness is what I would say.
Yes. Oh, and look at that, dancing around on the outside. Yeah, you are correct, because this time Killer Sushi goes back after Ertan menaced her progress. Now we've got Fraulein F. Reckless, lead jammer, Killer Sushi in hot pursuit. Dock City losing their pivot, that's Beelan.
But interestingly, Lomme did not speed up to save their points. It was actually Dock City who started accelerating the pack, which I thought was interesting. 1 point to Dock City in taking them to the 50. So we've had, 18 minutes, and we've still only got 83 points on the board across both teams. Super tight game.
A lot of action in the pack, no doubt about that. It's a 4-3 pack advantage this time. For Lomme, it's going to be Brutus taking on Prince Sophia. And Dock City going all in on defense, but Brutus up to the challenge.
Brutus has really been standing out as a jammer for Lomme, as you say earlier, pulling a heavy load in this game.
Yes, and now the Dock City pack working against Prince Sophia. Beautiful outside trip for Brutus.
But Dock City left that outside line available to Brutus. They weren't looking, and you give Brutus an inch and they're going to take it.
I think that's exactly right. I think they dared Brutus to take that precarious of a line, and Brutus said, okay, I will.
And they're not making the mistake on this round in the pack. It's interesting, they are covering that inside and outside line much closer. So I think they went, we shouldn't do that again.
Prince Sophia now finally completing the initial trip. That'll force the call, but it's an 8-0 jam for Lomme, and just like that, it's a 9-point game.
Interestingly, we're also seeing the same jammer rotations, so it's the same jammer matchups. It'll be interesting to see if they start changing that later in the game.
Yes. Well, Lomme already throwing in Gar's attack as kind of in that relief jammer position, but Gar's attack showing great prowess at the line. This is going to be Moran now. Oh, a wide open one lane results in a quick Dock City lead jam. Tech working against the Dock City defense right now and not getting too far. Tack is called now for an illegal contact penalty.
So power jam to Dock City.
It certainly is.
Chance for Moran to really pile some points on. Unfortunately, Aztecs to stumble to the floor.
Moran able to regroup. That's a 4-point trip, 8 points on the jam.
But Tack is now standing and about to come back on the track.
We'll see how quickly Dock City responds to Tack. And they are ready. They were primed.
They were waiting.
They certainly were.
And it's offense going in to try and free up Moran.
Oh, and it's a quick star pass to Larage. Larage is sent off on a low block, I believe, with the star, but attempted to re-administer the star. And
no star block. There you go. Tack putting the star back on their helmet.
Evidently, I guess it was a fake. They faked me out.
They did that a lot yesterday. They are very accomplished at the fake star pass.
Yeah.
It caught me out about 3 times yesterday, and I was looking really, really closely.
Well, I'm glad that you caught it because I feel I'm impressed. They must work on that.
They must. I really think they do. So 16 points for Dock City in that jam takes them to 66. And Lomme have called a timeout. Clever time for them to call a timeout.
I think so. You don't want this game to get out of control. It's certainly within their reach still. They've shown the ability to score large enough margins in any given jam.
Absolutely. So, chance for us to talk about Skate and Create Factory. Do you need a gift for the skater in your life? Get skate-themed art, stickers and gifts from Create and Skate Factory, a passion project by Jukebox. Duke is a fellow Derby skater playing in Barcelona, but you may remember her from her time skating with London Roller Derby, USA Roller Derby, Minnesota and Madison. You can find out more on createandskatefactory.com or on Instagram and Facebook at Create and Skate Factory. Every sale supports a fellow skater.
Well, hey, and they don't come much nicer than Jukebox and
So
not much
true.
more talented either. Wow. I remember Jukebox from Minnesota at first, and what a skill set.
Yeah, absolutely. Watching London at any time was always a joy.
Certainly was. Okay, it's a 4-3 pack advantage for Dock City right now. It's going to be Baudou for Lomme. Looking for the number on the Dock City jammer. This might be a first jam of the contest. No, it's Bowden. Bowden hopping inside, getting lead. Dock City very well organized so far, Dork Mistress, it must be said.
Absolutely. When it comes to the defense, Dock are sticking together more, but sometimes leaving those lines free. But they absolutely closed down Baudou last, who was trying to skate around, side surfing the outside.
Yeah.
And have reabsorbed.
Very good offense there by Malice Babs. Springs Bowden for 4, and that adds up to 8 on the jam. Larage is released from the penalty box.
And makes an instant impression, causing that carnage on the inside, I think is the best way to describe it. But
Exactly.
8 points for Dock City in that jam. They're now opening a lead out to 74 points, which is 33 points ahead of Lomme on 41.
Certainly is. Killer Sushi now, and this is the jammer rotation we've been seeing. Killer Sushi will be taking on Fraulein F. Reckless, 4-on-4 in the pack. Fraulein F. Reckless thought that there was an open lane on the outside, quickly shut down. Killer Sushi trying the same thing.
We tend to see two things: either walls like this, where it's a grind, or, and we've seen a lot of very dynamic walling, or they're not quite together enough. If there was more consistency, we would see more jams like this, but we're seeing, we're not seeing this probably enough.
It doesn't, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
We see Ertan at the front that's just banging bodies, trying to release Fraulein F. Reckless, but Killer Sushi coming from behind, lead jammer for Lomme. That's an important play right there for the Bad Bunnies.
Couldn't be at a better time. There was a whistle, there was a blocker penalty for Lomme, so Dock now have pack advantage.
Killer Sushi wrestled to the ground. I believe that is still Patty from the block, and Ertan really causing mischief in that pack. Dork Mistress, they throwing themselves into the offense and the defense.
71? Oh. Sorry, I was just checking a note from our wonderful producer, the child.
Okay.
It's interesting the lead jammer is ping-ponging between Fraulein F. Reckless and Killer Sushi. Neither of them are being more consistent lead at the moment.
We've got a 4-3 pack advantage for Doc right now. Sniffy is in that 888 penalty box. We got Brutus again. But this time Brutus is going to be called for cutting the track. So it's a power jam. Dock City, Prince Sophia, green light special.
And when there has been a jammer penalty for Lomme and Dock have got the power jam, it's always been at psychologically important times. We now have 5 minutes to go before half time. So they've got a chance to really stretch that lead and go in with that psychological advantage.
Yes. Prince Sophia definitely skating in control here. No reason to push too hard. Still a minute and 12 seconds to go. Now Brutus is released from that 888 penalty box, but I think Prince Sophia very confident in the defense. Quick star pass, however, to Larage. And that will stop the procession of points for Dock City at 7.
And that is good work from Lomme. I mean, there is always a danger in a power jam. We saw a 20-point jam, but keeping it down to 1 or 2 passes means that they're still in touch.
Yes, and they're going to have to. They've got no pack advantage right now. 4-4. It's going to be Tack taking on Mordon. Mordon was just catapulted from that sucker punch start line.
Interestingly, nobody from Lomme is going back to do offense. They are staying as a wall. And now actually can't because they're having to hold the pack.
Exactly. They're bridging out and to no avail anyway because Mordon is a lead jammer. Tack does get through.
But we now have 2 Dock blockers in the 888 penalty box and 1 Lomme now.
That's right. So now the question becomes, is Mordon going to let this roll to try to release the blockers?
Well, both jammers on completed scoring passes. So I think the answer is yes. Dock are running this long. But both blockers now standing.
And an improper pass yields evidently that player was already passed, so it's a smooth 4 for Lomme.
And that was difficult for Doc. They have not scored as many points as Lomme in that jam. Yes, they've got their blockers out, but it's 8 for Lomme, taking them to 53, 7 for Doc City, taking them to 88. And
2:15 left.
Interestingly, Lomme have now had 5 jammer penalties. Doc have only had 2. And I think that shows in the score.
It certainly does. 35 points is probably about right, given that differential. We've got Bowden now for Dock City. Garce attack again. A dynamic jammer for Lomme.
This is great dynamic blocking from Dock City in particular up front.
It certainly is. Sniffy trying to pry open a little bit of offense for Garce attack. Now has to go back to bridge. Wow, both teams just really, they've got their jammers solved right now. Their respective jammers are just grinding. Of course, as we say that, normally something will give.
See, even in that back wall, Larage doing an incredible job, almost one-on-one blocking with the support of the others. But up front, Dock City, that impenetrable, 3-in-1 wall. So they've got such flexibility to be able to move across the track. They can brush off the offenses going in from 23. Sniffy, sorry.
Everybody is being rolled back to the start line, and we are at 1 minute and 15 seconds gone by in this jam, and still no clear advantage.
We're all the way back to the sucker punch jam line.
Oh, my. Lead jammer going to Bowden.
Took 90 seconds, though.
It certainly did. The whistle was blown, and Bowden making the most of that trip.
And that was Larage with that big hit out. Well, it wasn't a big hit, but because of the physics and the momentum, it was a big slide out.
It had an impact, no doubt about it. And it won 4 very hard-earned points for Bowden there. May not get a chance to score more. That's it. Jam time's out. That's intermission. One more going up for Dock City.
Lomme not even completing their initial in that 2 minutes. So,
Dock City, defense is the name of this first half.
And jammer penalties.
Yes.
5 points there for Dock, taking them to 93. Lomme on 53. I've been Dork Mistress.
I've been Gretchen Little. I hope to be so in about 15 minutes.
Well, we should be back in about 13 minutes or so.
Doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you.
The S1 Pro knee pad is built to last and perform, blending highly durable fabrics and materials into an innovative design with exceptional craftsmanship. We use a very tough, military-grade ballistic nylon for the outer shell material. We triple stitched every seam to prevent blowouts and reinforced all of the straps with additional stitching. Our top straps are made with a high retention elastic that minimizes excessive stretching and incorporates a length adjustment system to allow you to lengthen or shorten the top strap. The inner knee cup mold is streamlined and deep fitting and features a 4-tiered foam system combining varying densities of foam with shock dispersing foam to achieve both shock reduction and comfort on impact. The inner foam layer is a high rebound memory foam which absorbs shock and molds to your knee on impact, stabilizing the knee, helping to prevent slippage. Our kneecap has a flat surface that supports stability on impact and is made with a high abrasion polycarbonate plastic for durability. The S1 Pro knee pad: stability, durability, functionality.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor,
giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try for yourself. We've got you.
The S1 Pro knee pad is built to last and perform, blending highly durable fabrics and materials into an innovative design with exceptional craftsmanship. We use a very tough, military-grade ballistic nylon for the outer shell material. We triple-stitched every seam to prevent blowouts and reinforced all of the straps with additional stitching. Our top straps are made with a high-retention elastic that minimizes excessive stretching and incorporates a length adjustment system to allow you to lengthen or shorten the top strap. The inner knee cup mold is streamlined and deep fitting and features a 4-tiered foam system combining varying densities of foam with shock dispersing foam to achieve both shock reduction and comfort on impact. The inner foam layer is a high rebound memory foam which absorbs shock and molds to your knee on impact, stabilizing the knee, helping to prevent slippage. Our kneecap has a flat surface that supports stability on impact and is made with a high abrasion polycarbonate plastic for durability. The S1 Pro knee pad: stability, durability, functionality.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
Doesn't just look kind of funny. The functionality of the EPS foam and how it disperses impact energy is compromised.
The 888 certified sweat saver comes in better shell size options than our leading competitor.
Giving you the highest level of protection upon impact. Try it for yourself. We've got you covered.
The S1 Pro knee pad is built to last and perform, blending highly durable fabrics and materials into an innovative design with exceptional craftsmanship. We use a very tough, military-grade ballistic nylon for the outer shell material. We triple stitched every seam to prevent blowouts and reinforced all of the straps with additional stitching. Our top straps are made with a high retention elastic that minimizes excessive stretching and incorporates a length adjustment system to allow you to lengthen or shorten the top strap. The inner knee cup mold is streamlined and deep fitting and features a 4-tiered foam system combining varying densities of foam with shock dispersing foam to achieve both shock reduction and comfort on impact. The inner foam layer is a high rebound memory foam which absorbs shock and molds to your knee on impact, stabilizing the knee, helping to prevent slippage. Our kneecap has a flat surface that supports stability on impact and is made with a high abrasion polycarbonate plastic for durability. The S1 Pro knee pad: stability, durability, functionality.
Ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. If you started Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. In 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack. Scan this QR code to learn more. Life is a contact sport. Win.
2024. We are halfway through this incredible game between Dock City and Lomme. I am Dork Mistress.
And I am Gretchen Little, and I am enamored with what Dock City has brought to this tournament this weekend, Dork Mistress. I just, they've got to be feeling quite confident, and they should feel as though they really showed the continent what they can do. They almost beat Paris yesterday. Came within 6 points. An amazing performance. That was a 12 seed taking on a 5 seed, and almost notched the biggest upset of the weekend.
So I think that the growth in European roller derby is absolutely evident here. Previously, between the 6th seed and the 12th seed, that meant a lot. These days, doesn't mean
not
quite
so much. Yes, I am seeing that firsthand. Now, Lomme had some moments in this first half of brilliance, but and they're not. It's a 40-point game. It's certainly not out of the realm of possibility for them to come back. They need to tighten up a few things.
Yeah, it's a story of jammer penalties. Lomme have had 5, and they've 16 penalties overall, 12 for Dock. It's also a story about Dock's blocking versus Lomme's blocking. So Dock have been super tight all the time. Lomme have been super tight most of the time, and I think that's the difference.
That extra 10% can result in a large difference in the game. You're exactly right. Here we go now. Fraulein F. Reckless and Baudou, and a little bit of talk. It was an immediate 4-3 pack advantage in favor of Lomme, and Lomme takes advantage through Baudou. Certainly no need to panic right now. Baudou's going to hit the pack call.
It was offense off the line, clearing that inside line for Baudou that enabled that lead jammer.
Well done. First points of the second period going to Lomme in the white.
2 points for them in that jam, taking them to 55.
We're back to a 4-on-4 pack. It's going to be Killer Sushi taking on Moran. Moran meeting resistance, but one thing that I've been impressed with Dock City's jammers is they both have the ability to just burrow through defensive formations, and that's what Moran did there.
And again there, you can see Lomme not quite covering the inside line enough and not quite quick enough to reform in front of Moran.
Yeah, looking to help and execute a star pass perhaps, but now Killer Sushi up at the front is out. That's the initial. Moran already with 4 though. He's going to turn, survey the scene, call it. Okay, so a 7-point outburst.
Taking Dock to the 100.
Yes.
And again, you can see it's Dock able to just keep the Lomme jammer back. That defense is just that bit tighter.
We've got Brutus, bright spot for Lomme in the first period with the star, taking on Bowden, and Brutus making some headway. Bowden knocked out, but well done there by Trauma Cranian. That took the Dock jammer to the infield. We've got a lead jammer for Lomme.
And you can see great dynamic walling by Lomme up at the front.
I think one of my favorite names for the weekend, and there have been some fabulous ones, but I think Kafka is just... Bowden does clear the pack now, so Brutus has a limited amount of time. Will call. Does put up points, however, for Lomme.
And you can see that both the Lomme blockers, Larage and Marshmallow, were trying to break up that wall, but with only 2 blockers, they weren't able to really provide enough offense to get Brutus through.
Yeah, and right now, 2 blockers in that 888 penalty box for Lomme, so this will be tough sledding. Fraulein F. Reckless versus Tack. Fraulein F. Reckless is a reliable jammer for Dock City and does get lead. Tack, well-balanced skater, is going to get out on the initial trip. That was very important. That'll force the call off. 4 points to Dock City quickly, but that could have gone sideways even worse for Lomme if not for that effort by Tack to get out of the pack. Really stellar personal effort.
But I think Dock City will be happy to 4-point by 4-point this at this stage.
Without question. Now we've got Fraulein F. Reckless again, and Moran again. Garza Tack for Lomme.
Taking the helmet cover off, looking for the star pass, but Dock are obstructing that. Legally, obviously.
Yes. And Moran is all business. Making it through.
And again, the speed of Dock blockers to be able to reform in front of fast jammers is really impressive.
It certainly is. It certainly is. To think they were the 12th seed coming into this tournament, and unfortunately, just because of the way the grid or the bracket was set up, the best they can escape theoretically is as an 11 seed based on the bracket, but the bracket doesn't actually set the rankings. So
No,
I think Dock City are in a position to get a big rankings boost from this weekend.
Yeah, I think they're one of the teams that will definitely see that little green arrow next to their name on the WFTDA rankings.
If they
after
do,
this.
it will be well earned. We've got Bowden right now jamming for Dock City. Baudou for Lomme.
And we have seen just the ability of the blockers to reform and move against such agile jammers on both teams has been great, but
this time it works in favor of Lomme. Baudou is out and is lead. Bowden spinning into the straightaway, and now, of course, look at the defense, the Kafka-esque defense being thrown out there. That was Ertan.
the problem with the dynamic blocking is actually you take quite a lot of space on the track, and so what happened there was that actually their own pack stopped the jammer from being able to get to stop the blocker to stop the other jammer. You were just like, there were too many people on the track in the way for Dock to be able to hold Lomme back.
Well explained. 4-on-4 in the pack right now. Killer Sushi looking to make a difference now. And Killer Sushi certainly has the ability to get out in a hurry. Right now, however, Prince Sophia is working the outside. Killer Sushi is just snagged by Snagga. Here we go. There's that inside. Killer Sushi, lead jammer. Lomme not through. Prince Sophia does escape from the Lomme defense. Lomme getting up front, protecting the points as well as possible. No points, however, on that jam, and that's a win for Dock City actually. In a 50-point game, you're not giving up a lot of leads, and when you do, your opponent doesn't score. That's a win for Dock. 4-3 pack advantage now for Dock City.
22 minutes left in this game.
This is Fraulein F. Reckless again against Brutus. And Fraulein F. Reckless, if we were doing MVP jammers for the game, I think you might want to consider Fraulein F. Reckless.
But that's Dock with Ertan to the penalty box, but Brutus also going. So this is now a power jam to Dock City.
Yeah. Fraulein F. Reckless is leading, just biding the time until there is a clear path forward.
So we now have 2 dock blockers in the Triple Eight penalty box, and we have a Lomme blocker and a jammer.
All of a sudden, it's a very busy place, and Fraulein F. Reckless is going to profit from that because there's so much open space. Doc loses another blocker.
But Brutus is now back on track, jamming for Lomme.
And all of that, and we still have 50 minutes or 50 seconds to go in the jam. Brutus is out now. Fraulein Reckless already on 12.
Now, that's interesting. Now that was interesting. So what happened was Fraulein F. Reckless was on track. Brutus came out of the pack and overtook Fraulein F. Reckless, who was looking at the bench waiting to be told to call it off and was told to run it a bit longer, but by then was behind Brutus.
Yes.
So had lost that momentum and speed.
Still 12-0 on the jam, so certainly a positive for Dock City. 4-3 pack advantage for Lomme. Lomme need to make a move now if they're going to make it. This is Tack taking on Bowden. And there's some blocking. Timely by Belzep, but Bowden able to escape the pack.
I mean, the Dock Jammer's ability to stay on the outside line has been really noticeable. I mean, that's why I was oohing against Fraulein F. Reckless last jam. It was just beautiful. They must drill being hit on that outside and staying put.
Very, very disciplined. And you saw that yesterday against Paris. They achieved lead many times in the same fashion. Oh boy, Tack is just really getting the business, but does pass the star to Honey Boo Boo,
who is now equally trapped.
Unfortunately, Honey Boo Boo says, can I give this back?
Yeah, I think the challenge is Tack is trying to give offense, but is a jammer, not a blocker. And so isn't quite used to giving offense.
Yes. Honey Boo Boo is out, and that will force the call off. And it just seems like at this point, Dock City have a stranglehold on the action, Dark Mistress.
This is definitely Dock City's game now.
Looking down, Kafka back in that 888 penalty box. So it's a 4-3 pack advantage for Lomme,
who haven't scored in the last 3 jams. So that momentum shift is really starting to work. And now, because I said it.
Well, I think that's an appropriate use of the commentator's effect. Yeah. This is Baudou, and Baudou has the opportunity to change the time-space continuum a little bit for Lomme. Bowden escapes. And Bowden's going to have to go back. I think both hands touched into the infield.
It did look like one, and I was like, are they going to get up? And I think they were like, I'm not sure. I'm going to go back.
Oh, nice work by Baudou. And all of a sudden, Lomme are mounting a challenge. Bowden is out now on the initial trip, so Baudou is going to want to call quickly. Hits the hips, does. And a 10-point jam. Well done, Lomme.
And
the Bad Bunnies are striking back.
It's going to be so important to give them a boost. I mean, we've still got 17 and a half minutes of this game.
Plenty of time.
We have seen bigger gaps closed in games. And sometimes it just takes that bit of momentum shift and then working out how to tackle a problematic bit for you.
Exactly.
And you're back in the race.
Well, and you know, a couple of ill-timed penalties going against your opponent, and there you are. It's Killer Sushi now versus Fraulein F. Reckless. Killer Sushi has a little bit of an advantage, but so does Fraulein F. Reckless, just grinding it out. Lead jammer Killer Sushi about a quarter of a track behind.
And Doc are trying to keep a Lomme blocker back to save that point.
Weren't able to do it, though. That was a nice little bit of defensive blocking by Pinky Bruiser, excuse me.
2 points for Lomme on 3 points.
3 points. That is a big steal for Lomme, considering that was a Dock City lead jam.
So we have a team timeout now called by Dock City.
Lomme.
Interesting time. Maybe just wants a bit of a breather because it's been a bit busy these
Well,
last
and
few
Lomme
minutes.
trying to grab the momentum back. What do we got for this timeout, Dork Mistress?
We're going to talk about Crash Course. As the jammers here will want to know, ready to make 2-minute jams feel easy? Tired of second-guessing your training routine? Want to feel more confident when you step on the track? Then Crash Course is for you. We turn skaters into MVPs. And if you start Crash Course today, in 4 weeks, you'll be less tired at the end of a 2-minute jam. And in 8 weeks, your footwork will get you to the line faster. And then in 12 weeks, you'll be the skater that everyone wants in their pack.
Ooh.
Life is a contact sport. Visit chrissycrash.com. That's with 2 Ks.
Okay.
To learn more. Win.
I'm very interested in that.
I would love to do... No, I would not love to do a 2-minute jam.
I don't know how it gets done sometimes. I try to explain it in home games sometimes that it's, it's like a 2-minute sprint, a
But also-
full-out sprint. But you're not only using your legs, you're using every fiber of your being.
It's a 2-minute sprint into a brick wall.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. 4-3 pack advantage for Lomme in the early going. Baleen in the penalty box, but standing, and how about that? Dock City were ready for that jam whistle.
But Lomme blockers weren't, and that was what happened.
Mordon is out. Brutus has to play catch-up. And Mordon is going to call up the jam, and either 3 or 4. 3 go up, but Dock City making the most of that timeout.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they weren't needing to shift momentum, which is also a good time. I think it was just to give them a bit of a breather and a chance, because we've got 15 minutes. They've got a substantial lead. They are just going to want to keep in control, keep it calm, get the 4 in, hit it and quit it, run down the clock.
Sure, it's going to be Tack now, jamming for Lomme, taking on Prince Sophia for Dock City. Prince Sophia getting tangled a little bit. Tack is lead. Prince Sophia just barreled over Honey Boo Boo in getting out of the pack. And Tack's going to call. We're seeing the jam referee and the outside pack ref confer on the question of points, no doubt. 2 points. 2 points to Lomme. So that's worthwhile.
Yeah. I mean, we are still talking about just a 54-point differential.
That's right.
And 15 minutes to go. So if they can take this 4-point, sort of grind away from Dock and start making some breakthroughs, that's going to close pretty quick.
Sure, 1 power jam, and all of a sudden, the world is a sunny, rosy place for the bad bunnies. Fraulein F. Reckless, though, at the front for the Dock City Anchors, and deposited harshly to the infield by Larage. That'll earn Larage a trip to the 888 penalty box. But it will take Fraulein F. Reckless back. Fraulein doesn't take long, however. Oh, no!
Oh, no. Oh, no. So what you've just seen is the Dock City Jammer basically skate out of bounds illegally in the infield after committing a penalty. So it gets 2 penalties, as one is an illegal procedure.
So this is that power jam that we were referring to.
Because it's going to be a whole minute.
Yes. Lead still open, but now Garst Attack has to get lead. Still has not completed the initial trip.
And Dock are in no mood to let them do that.
Isn't that the truth? See how quickly the reforming there. That
Yeah.
was Bilan.
Yeah.
Just seeing the gaps and filling the gaps.
But also look at where the Lomme blockers are, which is not where not providing offense at the right time or looking around to see where they should be. Doc just know where each other are.
Yeah. Well-trained pack, no doubt about it. Garcetak forced to go it alone now as Fraulein F. Reckless is released from the penalty box. And Fraulein F. Reckless looks a little perturbed that she had to spend that much time there.
Larage picking up another penalty in this jam. That's a forearms, which is possibly going to start putting them in the danger zone on penalties.
Very well could. And Fraulein F. Reckless, despite spending despite spending 60 seconds in that 888 penalty box, does get 4 points and negates the Dock City power advantage.
Yeah, but Lomme only picking up 4 points with that whole minute that was available to them. And Larage is now sitting on 6 penalties. And Larage is a key player.
Yeah,
so
Larage is a very spirited blocker in there.
So an official review has been called, and that has been called by Doc. I would imagine it's around that penalty scenario.
I think you are onto something, Dork Mistress.
We will find out. We'll hear
do.
from Victoria Velociraptor soon. But a chance to talk about our Jammer line sponsor, Sucker Punch Skate Shop, the biggest roller derby shop in Europe. Fast shipping, largest stock, expert advice at the best price. Sucker Punch Skate Shop. Check them out online.
Well, I think I will, because I'm certainly in the market for some 187 killer pads.
Ooh.
They are worn by most pros in the world. If you skate, you know why. 187 killer pads made with industrial strength materials, unmatched ergonomic design, and unparalleled excellence. Let's find out.
So in case you didn't pick that up, Dock City are questioning the points that were awarded to Lomme in that last jam. I think they think that, was it Garcetak did not complete the initial.
I was under that impression for a large portion of that jam, Dork Mistress, so we shall see.
We're just about to hear the results of that official review.
The initial pass was completed and the points will stand. Not retain their review.
Okay.
So,
well, the referees are paying a lot more attention than I am. I know that.
So Garcetak did complete their initial pass, so that was an appropriate point score. The official review has been lost, and the points stand.
Well, it's a very chaotic jam, and that's why you need top-level officials to continue to sort this out. We have Larage in the penalty box, and you said with 6 penalties now?
6 penalties.
The next one, and Larage is gone. This is Moran now, jamming for Dock City and establishing lead.
Lomme lined up at the back, waiting for Moran, but not able to cover the entire width of the track quick enough to hold them back.
No, Killer Sushi has completed the initial now. Moran trying to call the jam and maybe freeze Larage in the box, but didn't quite call it in time.
Larage is one of the quickest people, just like quicker than thought gets to places. So I can see Moran trying to call it before Larage was out, but Larage was having none of it.
No. Okay, number 10 on the line for Lomme. This is Baudou. And Bowden for Dock City. Baudou, lead jammer, Lomme. The Bad Bunnies are not done. However, a forearm will send a blocker to that 888 penalty box.
But Bowden is out completing their initial pass.
Indeed. And Baudou has to call 1 point. One point for the troubles.
So even though Lomme have started picking up lead more often, Dock are not letting them profit from that.
Not significantly.
That 1 point, 3 points, they're not letting them close the gap. We're still at a 57-point game. Differential, sorry.
4-3 pack advantage in Dock City's favor, and Fraulein F. Reckless on the line, taking on tack. Fraulein F. Reckless just has that ability. Just reads what's in front and reacts so quickly. Out for lead.
Doc, though, picking up a forearms penalty in the pack, so it is pack advantage Lomme.
Lomme passing the star to Honey Boo Boo. But Doc not caught unawares. Fraulein F. Reckless will call take 3. And probably more importantly at this point, Dork Mistress, running some time off the clock.
So it's now a 60-point differential between the two teams, and we've got 10 minutes. So that window for Lomme to change the game is closing really fast.
Yes, it is. And in order to give it a try, they're going to send Brutus to the line. It's a 4-3 pack advantage in Lomme's favor. Brutus, I believe that was Ayrton shutting the door. Ayrton shutting the door again. Power jam in Lomme's favor. There goes Brutus. And okay, here we go. This is the opportunity.
This is what they've been looking for. And again, you see Larage with that very quick cycle back.
Baleen doing a really good job captaining the defense in the middle of the pack.
It's that speed that Doc can reform. And it's like they go, I don't know, is there portals on the track that they go through?
Brutus does get 4.
But it's taken 50 seconds.
It certainly has, and now Mordaunt is out of the penalty box. Looked to pass the start of Malice Babs, but now Babs is going towards the front of the pack and does receive the star. Well, that was a well-executed star pass. Meanwhile, Brutus, just struggling for that second scoring trip, has to call.
But
2 points.
Did have 2 in the pocket.
Yep.
So that's 6 points for Lomme in that jam. So the last couple of jams, we are seeing Lomme take it back.
Yes.
We want to see more of this. We want it to get, we want these last 8 minutes to be super close and exciting.
Well, we've got Killer Sushi on the line and giving a little dap to Prince Sophia, so they are definitely ready to rumble out here. 4-on-4 in the pack. Oh, how about Killer Sushi? But in the time it took for Killer Sushi to regroup, Prince Sophia is out and the Doc defense reformed. Oh, and now it's a power jam.
It's a forearms for Killer Sushi into the AAA penalty box.
And Prince Sophia, a very reliable jammer for Doc City. Maybe not the flashiest, but not a lot of mistakes.
No. And we've talked about how jammer penalties were important in period 1. Period 2, this is Lomme's first jammer penalty. Doc obviously picking up that double penalty.
Yeah.
So, 1 incidence apiece.
Killer Sushi released. Oh, wow. Just stopless. Made Killer Sushi think about cutting, and the cut is called. Yeah, that's great work by Stopless on the inside of turn 2 there.
See, again, I cursed it. So now it's 2 jammer penalties apiece. Both of them in the same jam.
Yeah.
So Sophia.
And this is the this could be the killer blow right now for Doc City.
We talked about that window. I think Prince Sophia is shutting it right now.
So once again, the predictor was not right.
Although Prince Sophia having significant trouble getting through the pack.
Will call, and that'll freeze Killer Sushi, which I guess you certainly want to freeze your sushi if you're concerned about it killing you.
So 15 points for Doc City in that jam, taking them to 155. They're now lots of points ahead of Lomme's back.
I believe it's a very nice difference.
So
if I had to guess, I think it's
lots.
it's a very nice difference.
Yes.
It's 69-point lead right now.
There's going to be people at home who will be very excited about that. So, chance to talk about our 888 penalty box sponsor, who has been seeing lots of skaters today. Revolutionising roller derby safety with cutting-edge helmet tech and unrivaled fit options. Stay protected with 888.
Sounds like a good idea to me. All right. Well, it's going to be a power jam start, but Killer Sushi was standing in that 888 penalty box at the end of the jam, so I'm going to presume that Killer Sushi will be able to stand when we hear the 5-second whistle, or the 5-second call, excuse me.
A 5-minute jam would be an awfully long time, right?
5:35 on the clock. Here we go. Oh, Killer Sushi is sitting down again. Not sure of the reasoning there. Fraulein F. Reckless, again, lead jammer. I'd like to see Fraulein's lead percentage this game. It's got to be quite high.
So, and Lomme with another blocker in the box. Killer Sushi now standing.
Fraulein F. Reckless is still in a power jam with lead. Killer Sushi released. So the clock is under 5 minutes right now.
That was Moete with that excellent hit out to the outside. And then, you see, you have Marshmallow going all that way back.
Yeah, Fraulein F. Reckless being very unreckless right now. Doesn't want to risk a power jam against her right now. And doing quite a good job. Star pass now.
So it is Marshmallow who is jammer for Lomme, forcing the call off. You're right. Dock City now just need to play it safe. They've got a comfortable lead. There's, with 4 minutes left on the clock, Lomme are going to...
Yeah, the rankings benefit is going to occur, not only from this game, but from the one yesterday
absolutely
as well.
And but they want that differential to be as high as possible between Lomme and Dock City. So they don't want to give Lomme any power jams at this stage.
That's correct. Okay, we've got Moran now jamming for Dock City. It's tack again for Lomme. Dock City losing a pivot to that 888 penalty box. That's Malice Babs.
Attack recycled almost all the way back to the Sucker Punch jam line.
Yeah, and as it stands right now here, again, Moran is not going to take any chances. Just going to let the play develop, trust the defense.
And we haven't seen this heavy static wall for some time from either team. We haven't seen this grind that we talk about.
Yeah, and the clock winding down is certainly a friend of Dock City right now. Tack, with a little bit of opening, does get lead.
It was a cut that we saw from Tack.
It certainly was.
It was a toe stop outside the line. It just took a little while for that to get communicated as they'd gone through the pack.
That explains it. Oh, what a shame. Tack putting everything on the line, not to make a pun, but unfortunately made it a little over the line.
And also what happened was Maron saw that lead had been awarded, took the helmet cover off, but obviously lead had been awarded after the penalty, so lead was still open until Maron took off the helmet cover. So we will have a 2-minute jam. And I think Maron is showing that it's been a long couple of days.
Yes. Tack is back out, but Dock City with Kafka in charge is just going to make things as difficult as possible.
Interesting. So Kafka did the hit out to the outside and went back. And so Tack thought that Maron was the back and went even further back than they needed to. But that jam came to the end. I think that Maron has done such an incredible job. I think just ran out of juice when saw it was going to be 2 minutes. And also, again, don't want to risk it. Play it safe. I know it's, Some people say that's boring, but it's wise.
It's wise when rankings are your goal.
Yeah.
And this could easily be our final jam now. 1:22 to go. Dock City.
No, it won't be now you said that.
Well, we'll find out. No, here we go. It's Baudou, lead jammer for Lomme.
But Bowden's also out and chasing Baudou down.
That is correct. Well done. Well defended by Ayrton.
There was a sneaky 1 point there for Dock City. Baudou not
Very
quite quick
much
enough.
so. No.
Not quite quick enough with the call off. So
Killer Sushi will get one more chance at Fraulein F. Reckless.
see, I said there'd be another jam now.
Yes, you were correct. It's a 4-on-4 pack. To get this one started.
The crowd obviously enjoying this contest and they're looking forward to this final jam.
Fraulein F. Reckless, for those of you following at home, I'm going to guess has about at least a 70% lead.
Yeah, I would say very high percentage lead. I think Killer Sushi has also done an incredible job this game,
Yes.
but up against a very, very strong defense.
Yeah, and a coordinated defense.
Yeah.
Killer. Oh, a star pass now. That's going to Sniffy. So the period clock is on 0. Fraulein F. Reckless can pull the plug right now.
But things they can get through once
Yeah.
that extra 4 points. It's all about the differential, and is right to do so.
Oh, yes. Sniffy, well, yeah, Sniffy is the first time with the star, I believe, today.
Yeah.
So you're kind of
It's worth the risk.
pressing the
Yeah.
advantage, but yeah, still 50 seconds to go. Fraulein F. Reckless says, I don't want to go home yet.
No, 12 points on the board in this jam already. 13, 14. So, clever time to use risk by
Certainly.
Dock City.
And high five up there playing offense for Fraulein F. Reckless. They're clearing a pack. They're clearing away.
I think we might get I'm having a look at the bench. Are they... No, the bench wants to run it long.
Still 20 seconds, now 15.
Yeah.
Fraulein F. Reckless really extending this. They could get to a 100-point advantage. Well, 4 will go up for Sniffy, though.
But 4 go up for Dock City, and that's the game.
Unofficial score, a 98-point outburst from the Dock City Anchors from Dock City Roller Derby in Gothenburg, Sweden. Wow. They've got to be thrilled.
I remember this was supposed to be 150 to 149 according to the rankings.
Exactly.
We did not see that. So it's been a wonderful game. If you are with us all day, we hope you are. The next game is going to be Tiger Bay versus Helsinki. Both teams with something to prove. Both teams very closely ranked, and they, both want to come out of this with something positive. So that is going to be an absolutely spicy game.
You know it, and they've seen that incarnate in Dock City.
Yeah.
And they're going to want to go feeling the same way. We're looking down right now on that Dock City bench. They're thrilled. They're very proud of themselves, and they should be. I'm Gretchen Little.
I've been Dork Mistress, and our producer's been the fantastic The Child. See you back here in about, I think we are running a little bit behind schedule, so probably about 25 minutes for Tiger Bay versus Helsinki. And then after that, we go into the semi-finals.